Tonight on Whether or Not. A warm weekend ahead, but are there rain clouds on the horizon? Jill is here with your forecast. Plus, we say goodbye to two of our valued team members as they prepare to graduate this weekend. Christy has that story. All that plus nature in the news as Whether or Not starts right now. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Brad Guay.
And I'm your forecaster, Jillian Bohenek.
So Jill, graduation coming up this weekend. A lot of people are going to be outside taking pictures and the like. Can you tell us, what's the forecast like? Are they going to be good weather for it?
Well, unfortunately, we do have a lot of rain in the forecast beginning on Friday. So we won't have a complete washout on Friday, but the weekend's what we really need to look out for. So those folks that are here for graduation definitely need those umbrellas.
Yeah, well, we'll look forward to more details about that in your forecast. But for now, here's Nature in the News.
A line of stalled storms caused catastrophic flooding in the Florida Panhandle last week. Up to 20 inches of rain fell near Pensacola in a matter of hours, causing roadways to collapse and homes to flood. Pensacola set an all-time daily rainfall record of 15.55 inches on April 29th. They typically see just over 4 inches of rain in the entire month of April. Nearby communities in Alabama were also hard hit, including Mobile, where downtown streets were underwater for a time. In nearby Silver Hill, Alabama, the Fish River rose 21 feet over the course of 24 hours, setting a new record crest. This rainfall was especially notable because it didn't happen in a tropical storm or hurricane. Tropical weather typically creates the heaviest rain near the Gulf Coast.
Blue whales have washed ashore in two small towns in western Newfoundland, and locals are happy that a Toronto museum has agreed to take the carcasses. The towns, Rocky Harbor and Trout River, didn't have the resources to remove the carcasses themselves, and they feared that they would quickly become an 80-foot-long putrid nightmare in the spring sun. Now, as whales decompose, they swell with methane gas, and they quickly begin to reek when the temperature rises. Now, we'll leave the mechanics of this to your imagination, but they can even pop if the pressure builds enough, making a real mess of the beach. Now, there's no word on just how long it will take for museum scientists to move the whales, which are believed to have been killed by heavy ice.
NASA unveiled a new prototype spacesuit last week intended for use on Mars. Called the Z2 spacesuit, it features a hard composite upper torso along with more mobile joints. The new suit was selected by a public vote on 3 different designs and is an upgrade of an earlier prototype, the Z1, which was unveiled 2 years ago. This so-called technology design won with a landslide of 63% of votes. The suit was made with 3D printed panels and can be custom fit to each astronaut. The next phase of testing will begin in November, and NASA will eventually refine the suit even further, though some of the current characteristics will likely remain in the final design. Though it could happen by 2030, there is currently no timetable for a manned mission to Mars.
A Penn State study has found that deer infected with chronic wasting disease tend to cluster in low-lying, open, and developed areas. Chronic wasting disease is a neurological disease that impairs deer, causing weight loss, behavioral abnormalities, and eventually death. It also affects meat safety, making it a concern for hunters. First diagnosed in the late 1960s, chronic wasting disease has now spread to over a dozen states. The research, conducted by Penn State's College of Agricultural Sciences, suggests that wildlife management agencies should concentrate their surveillance in low-lying areas for the best chance of locating infected deer. Pennsylvania has found 7 infected deer in the last 2 years, but neighboring West Virginia has found over 100 in the past 10 years. Jill is in now with the weekend forecast. Jill, how is it looking?
Well, Brad, I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but unfortunately we are going to see quite a bit of rain heading into this weekend. So we'll start to look at the forecast. For Friday, we do see a warm front that's going to be moving through, so luckily those temperatures will start to pick up. We might even hit the 80-degree mark, but for now we are going to see temperatures in the upper 70s, which will be nice for a change, but we do have some precipitation that's going to be occurring on Friday, so some moderate rainfall will take place, which is going to make it feel quite sticky. So for those of you heading out to graduation this weekend, and for those of you graduating and family that may be visiting, just keep an eye out and keep your umbrellas handy. So we will see some more rain heading into Saturday. So luckily we won't see too much Saturday morning. Those will start to dissipate into the afternoon, but we do have a cold front that's going to be bringing some more precipitation on Saturday. So that'll start to move through the state. And we're going to see temperatures drop down into lower 70s for Saturday, and that's going to continue to be the story for Sunday. Although Sunday, those rain showers will start to dissipate. We won't see anything on Sunday as it'll dry out quite nicely. So that system that brought us the rain for Friday and Saturday will move off to our east and luckily dry us out for Sunday. Now we do have another system that we're going to need to keep our eye out for. So we do have a warm front that's going to make its way into the area early next week, so we will start to see temperatures go up just a bit once again, but then there is going to be some precipitation in the forecast for early next week. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. We are going to take a quick look at the European model. This gives just a general idea as to the time scale as to how this precipitation is going to go about this weekend. So we do see that green swath patch on Friday evening. So the main rain event is going to be Friday into Saturday. But then as we head on into early Saturday morning, you can see that dry patch that is going to occur. So the afternoon on Saturday will be dry for the most part, but then rain will start to pick back up Saturday evening as that system starts to move through. But then luckily by Sunday, we will start to see things dry out. But then we do have those showers that'll start to build in early next week. So we can't get rid of that precipitation just yet, as we do see some pretty moderate rainfall that'll take place on Mondays. A few pop-up showers may even occur on Tuesday. So unfortunately, we will start to see more rain early next week. I can't rule it out completely, unfortunately, but things will start to look up, I promise. So Friday, we do have highs in the upper 70s with those chance of showers. But then the main rain event will be Friday night. We may even see a few thunderstorms. So we will see muggy conditions Friday night, as we do have that moderate 60 degrees for a low temperature on Friday night. But then Saturday, those showers will continue on into the very early morning, but then things will start to dry out into the afternoon hours. And then Friday night, we'll see a few showers pop up once again with low temperatures in the upper 50s, so just a little bit cooler. And then Sunday, again, things will start to dry out quite nicely. Highs will be in the lower 70s once again with partly sunny skies, so not too bad of a day on Sunday. So things will start to look up on Sunday, but again, that won't stick around for too long, as we do see the possibility of some more rain that will occur early next week. Now in just a few moments, we do have Christy with a special feature story that will take place here on University Park that will talk about the two members of our Whether or Not team that will unfortunately be leaving us because they are graduating this weekend. So we'll head on to Christy's feature.
Well, it's that time of year again. Classes have come to a close, temperatures are warming up, and the line for pictures at the Lion Shrine just keeps getting longer. Graduation for the class of 2014 is here. This weekend, over 13,000 Penn State students will be receiving their diplomas, including two members of the Whether or Not team. Tom Bedard and Tyler Jankowski will both be walking across the stage to receive degrees in meteorology, marking the end of their time here at Penn State and on Whether or Not. So it's time to say goodbye.
Holding back my tears.
My favorite part of working with the Whether or Not team for the last year has been really working with a team of students and putting together a long-form weather show that is entirely put together by students, because that's pretty unique. You know, we're all used to the short 2-minute and 30-second forecasts, so putting together a show with some, flexibility when it comes to content has been very interesting.
About working with Whether or Not has been bonding with the people that I've gotten a chance to work through the seasons I've worked on Whether or Not. That's part of season 11, season 12, and now season 13. A lot of the audience may not know that we're doing this production towards 1 or 2, maybe even 3 o'clock in the morning to make sure that the product that we put out is quality. And so there's a lot of bonding that happens around 3 o'clock in the morning in the Weather Center.
you know, beyond meteorology, one of the other things that I've loved about Happy Valley is the sense of community here and how it's just, for the most part, Penn State in this valley in the middle of nowhere. You know, you can have a lot of fun on the weekends, but then during the week, you know, it's back to hitting the books and progressing the science. And so when you come to Penn State, you're surrounded by a lot of experienced professionals in the field, whether it's a professor or someone that came to work at Penn State.
Oh, about Penn State. Aside from my Whether or Not crew, I'm going to be missing the Department of Meteorology and Emergency Services at State College. I've become ingrained into the community here, and it's going to be hard to leave, but I'm trying not to think about it at some distant point in the future, 1 or 2 weeks ahead of time, that I'm not considering yet.
And while you won't be seeing them anymore here on Whether or Not, both gentlemen have big plans for the future.
After graduation, I plan on working for the National Weather Service or the National Hurricane Center. If that doesn't pan out, I've been teaching as a FEMA certified instructor for a National Disaster Preparedness training course called Tornado Awareness. And on the side of that, I'm going to keep working as an EMT. So I've got a contingency plan, but my dream is National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida.
After graduation, I hope to find a job as a meteorologist at a local TV station or in any other weather communications role. It doesn't have to be a local TV station, but I kind of like being the person communicating the science. And so after I graduate, the job search will continue.
As we say goodbye to Tom and Tyler, we will have to add another member to our team. Joining us this summer will be Ryan Bells, a rising junior out of the College of Communications, who's also working towards a minor in meteorology. But for now, congratulations to Tom and Tyler, goodbye, and good luck. For Whether or Not, I'm Christy Reuille.
Well, thank you, Christy, for that lovely farewell. But now we'll take a look at the extended forecast. But first, a quick recap of the weekend. Now, Friday, it's not going to be a complete washout, although we will see quite a few showers pop up Friday night into Saturday with the potential of some thunderstorms Friday night. But it won't be a complete washout. Like I said, temperatures will be nearing the 80-degree mark, which will be nice. And then heading into Saturday, we will start to see even more showers early on Saturday and potentially again later on Saturday evening, but then temperatures will start to dip down into the lower 70s, and that'll continue to be the story for Sunday, although we will see partly sunny skies. So Sunday will start to dry out and things will start to look up, especially heading into early next week. Now Monday and Tuesday, we are looking at higher temperatures, so we are going to be seeing temperatures anywhere between 5 and 10 degrees above average, although we do have a slight chance of a few pop-up showers Monday and Tuesday, but nothing by means of any accumulation. So then by Wednesday, we are going to start to see temperatures dip a little bit, so we'll see cooler temperatures before the end of next week when temperatures will start to rebound right around the average.
All right, well, thank you, Jill. And we talked earlier in Nature in the News about record rainfall in Pensacola. So that brings us back to our Weather Whiz quiz, which deals with heavy rain right here in State College. So can you tell me how much rain fell on the wettest May day on record here in State College? Was it A, 2.8 inches, B, 3.2 inches, C, 3.5 inches, or D, 4.4 inches? And the answer is A, 2.8 inches of rain, which fell back on May 19th, 1894.
That's an awful lot of rain, Brad. Luckily, we won't be seeing quite that much this weekend.
Yeah, and that's certainly good news for our grads.
Absolutely. And speaking of graduates, we'd like to say a farewell to two of our grads, both Tom Bedard and Tyler Jankowski, who have been loyal members to the Whether or Not team.
Yeah, and we'll certainly miss Tom and Tyler here in the Weather Center. They've been a great presence, but we're sure they'll be landing great jobs very soon. Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's edition of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Brad Guay.
And I'm your forecaster, Jillian Bohenek. Have a great weekend.